Hi everyone, this is Sagar Shah and welcome to the day 15 of our training session. 15 days, we have completed 2 weeks now, and today is going to be a very exciting session because we are not just going to learn what I have written here, imbalance of weak squares in chess, but we are going to also touch upon something very interesting, which is how to prepare openings. Okay, and that's what we are going to do here. And many times, all of you have questions as to how to prepare openings. How do you do that? How can I become better at it? And today, we are going to look at this subject in greater depth. I'm going to talk to you about how good players, top players, prepare on openings and how you can do that as well. Okay, so first of all, a big shout out to all those who are present here. uh, right now we are close to 100, but as the class goes on we always go to around 300 people or 350 sometimes. So I feel nice, yeah, that there are so many people coming in and learning. So, shall we do what we do every day, which is to solve a few positions, get into the groove before moving on? So, let's do that. Okay, so I'm going to load the Chessbase account and training. Let's solve some tactics. Okay, I hope today there will be some difficult ones to test you. They should know that you're on your 15th day now. It's no longer easy. So, black to play, what would you do? By the way, good morning and hi to everyone here. Let me just say a few names. Prashant Kumar, Nirav Bansal, Abdul Kalam, Alind Khare, Tinku Saha, Rishila Banerjee, Swanand Datar, Vaibhav Mazumdar, Chanchal Jha, Sanjay Kamble, Chandan CK, Sanchit S, Kasser Chess, Abdul Kalam, Tarush Yadav, Quest, Tinku Saha, Sumed Ramteke, Alan K, Ilam Parthi, Aditya Ramanathan. Welcome to everyone. Yeah, there are so many people here and also so many known names. By the way, a big thanks to Virendra who's contributed 20 rupees today. Virendra always gets the ball rolling, just like Virendra Sehwag does in cricket. Yeah, something like that. Okay, Bhargav Rukji 2, Yusuf Faryad Rukji 2, Saumya Mahesh, Pradeep N. Das, Rishila Banerjee. But as always, I have Ilam Parthi who tells me the complete answer always. And also Ishir Narayanan has done that today. Good job. Good morning, Jaideep. You are here. Well, the right move is Rook G2, but you don't end there, but you also must see Rook F1 and then Bishop B5. If you give me this entire answer, then I would say that you have solved it correctly, not just Rook G2. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, this one is pretty simple. I don't need to ask you guys, but still, I want to see if everyone gives this correctly. Okay, a big shout out to Srinivas Suri who has contributed 200 rupees, and also to Prathamesh Divekar who's contributed 100. Both of you, thank you so much for starting off today so wonderfully on a great note. I must say we're close to 70,000 rupees we have raised, which is amazing. A big thanks to Deepika Joshi from Canada who's contributed 10,000 rupees to this live show, and that's how we also made a jump to 70,000. Well, all those who want to win the queen with rook c8, that's good, but always try to win the queen, sorry, the king with queen c6. Good job, guys. Not rook c8 though. Okay, this is white to move. Not easy, yeah. This one looks tricky. Ah, very nice. It seems like a very, very interesting position. Very cute position, I should say. Kunal Singh says, yesterday I won a team tournament and he contributes 40 rupees. In fact, I've been receiving certain messages from people saying that they are doing well in their online events. I think one of them was Vipan Badshah, who said he won a tournament on Leechess and he was trying to make use of imbalances. So, well, I feel that something is going right, yeah, over here. Yes, all those who have said bishop into e4, well, just queen into e4 and black should be fine. But yeah, this is really nice. Very good. I think the right answers have been said by many people here. But I'll just try to say a few names. I'm sorry if I miss your name here. Pankaj Panchal, Shesha Reddy, Abhinav Jain, Arun Dikshit, Ishir Narayanan, Prathamesh Divekar, Arka Datta, Shivam Chaudhary, Sanjay Kamble, Ilam Parthi, Sumed Ramteke. Good job, guys. You all have got it right. Bishop a3. And the beauty of this move is that black can do nothing. The point is I want to take bishop into d6 when your knight is pinned to the queen, and if you try to support this knight, say by queen b8, then you lose the support of this knight, so I can pick up this knight. This shows one very important concept in chess, which is known as a superfluous piece. uh, Knights are often superfluous when they are defending each other. It means like they look strong but actually they are not. And in this case it's very obvious. It seems like both of them are supporting each other, but actually it's not enough. Yeah, so this position, like even if you play queen d5, I can just take on d6 and this knight cannot take because bishop d5, and if the queen takes then I win a piece. Okay, let's go to the next one. White to move. Seems like a tricky one. I always try to first count the material so that I'm sure of what's happening, and then I do make sure that I try to look at pieces which are undefended or inadequately defended. Tiny b boss, if you move your d knight, then you will lose your e4 knight. That's the problem. Arpan Mukherjee, the main way to spot tactics is always to look at some undefended piece in the position. That's always the the hint that you should get. Yeah, very good. The first one to answer is Uday Paideti, Geeta Ritesh. Good job. Prashant Kumar, no, I think your move is not correct. Chanchal Jha also. Idea is good of Chanchal Jha and Prashant Kumar, but execution is wrong. Kimaya Virle, you are right. Ilam Parthi, correct. Sudharani, Shivam Chaudhary, Tarun M, Prathamesh Divekar, Udaykant Mishra, Mayur Hegde. Good job, guys. Arun Dikshit has given an entire line. Excellent job, Arun. Uh, yeah, the the move is knight into c6. Yes, someone said knight e6, but it doesn't work because I don't need to take the knight. I can take the queen and then take the knight. And now here the e7 bishop is hanging, so you win a pawn. Now if he had taken with the b pawn, then I could take the queen and then take on e7. By the way, a big thanks to Rishila Banerjee who's contributed 100. Thank you so much, Rishila. contributing every day, and also your family. She says, "Thank you, Sagar. You are a pillar of inspiration. Also, I like your stories very much." Okay, thank you. Well, I'll tell you a couple of stories today. Okay, let's go to the next one. This one is white to move. Seems like there should be a quick mate here, but let's make sure that you get all your calculations correct. It's important. Well, sporty Nagaram, if knight into c6, queen d1, then knight into e7, check. I can give a check in between. Kaushik Chail, welcome to the show. Vishal Kumar, you have donated. Please read it. Thank you so much, Vishal, for your donation. Um, yeah, so don't give me one moose. Queen h7, king g5, rook d5, says Uday. But Uday, then there's also f5 in the picture. And secondly, to queen h7, you must consider a move like knight h5. Okay. This time there is a quite a confusion amongst rook h1 and queen h7 in you guys. So try to calculate. This is where the real calculation is important. What happens if I go queen h7, uh, king g5? Because knight h5, I think rook h1 should be enough to win. That looks good. So queen h7, king g5, rook d5, f5. Maybe it's not a mate there. So rook h1, check. Now you can't take the rook because e2 is hanging. Uh, and if rook h1, king g5, what do you do next? Queen h7, knight h5, rook h1. Yeah, that's right. But rook h1, king g5, maybe that's not clearly winning. See, all of you are always considering moves which are not good for your opponent. This is a very bad thing to do, and I want you to improve it. Like rook h1, knight h1, queen e2, you see that, and you must stop there because you're winning. And then rook h1, you must look at king g5, how to win there. And I don't even see one check in that position, like queen d5, f5. So let's look at queen h7 more deeply. Queen h7, knight h5, rook h1 is winning. Queen h7, king g5. Now queen g7 check. Okay. So now the king can go to the h file. If it goes to say h4, then queen g4 is a mate. Okay. If it goes to king h5, then queen g4, king h6, rook d6 check. I think that should be good. Also, yeah, rook d6, king h7, and maybe there is queen h4 check, king g8, or queen h3 check. Yeah, that could be interesting. Queen h3, if king g8, then queen into c8. That seems winning, but queen h7, king g5, queen g7 check, king f5. I want to look at. And now knight d6 check, king e6. I think I can play queen into f7, and this seems like the king is not going to survive there. So yeah, let's go with queen h7 check, knight h5. Okay, this is not that's easy, but I want to look at king g5 because this is not simple. Rook d5, f5, This is the tricky move. So I was here queen g7 is one possibility, and then if king h5 is one move, yeah, or king h4, this is a mate. So king h5, now check, yeah, king here, and now how do we mate here? Uh, yeah, also possible is to take this pawn, yeah, here. This looks also equally good, because then you are kind of clearing up the f5, and if the king goes here, then this should be strong. I think this way, or there would be several other ways to win. Yeah, I'm sure that lot of answers have been right here. Maybe I'm just struggling to get the right move, but I guess it's pretty close, because after here check king f5, now I can even take on f7. That looks strong, but even knight d6, king here takes. This should be winning completely. So okay, let's do one last thing, last position, and move on to something else. This is white to move. Okay, this is a nice one. Yeah, knight d4 fork, says Rahul Gupta. Well, knight d4 is this square. Your knight can't go there. Kar Ding is from Philippines, and welcome Kar Ding. Sura Satya says you are the reason why I started analyzing my own games. Very good, Sura. You are going the right path. Kumar Dandapal says how much to download CB15? It's for 3,715 rupees. Yeah, exactly. Knight d3 is the correct move. And the point being, if the queen moves, I take this bishop. And if he takes bishop into c3, I recapture with the pawn. Very good. To attack this knight, take with the pawn, and you win this knight. Maybe he goes queen f7, take on a2, but this should be insufficient compensation. Yes, Nandan, you are right. Welcome to Saravanan and his son. Uh, okay, good job, guys. Everyone has got this right. So now let's talk a bit about opening preparation today. Uh, I would like to ask all of you. Atharva Polekar says, I can find the answers fast, but I can't type fast. That's okay. As long as you're finding the answers, that's good enough. You don't need to write down here. Okay, so now what we need to do is you need to suggest me, by the way, think very carefully, an opening which you would like to prepare. Okay, so if there is any opening which you would like to prepare, we will prepare it together. So it's like a live session, live demonstration of how to prepare an opening. I have not prepared that opening, but let's try to do that. Okay, so the answer which is there many times, we will try to take that. So Reshma Dulgaj says Yugoslav attack. Shabistan says Catalan. Okay. Jyoti Shah says, I'm Manas Shah, and every time I go to play tournaments, I'm very scared and nervous. How to deal with it? Well, let's get to this question at the end of the session. I would like to answer this. Queen's Gambit says Atul Tripathi. English opening. Tinku Saha says Sicilian. Hippopotamus. Smith Mora Gambit. Rai Lopez Exchange. Scandinavian with Queen D6, Roy Lopez, English, Sicilian Dragon, Scotch, Slav, London System. Nothing is repeating, yeah? Everything is Dutch Stonewall, Nimzowicz, Italian opening, Scotch, Najdorf, Roy Lopez, Scotch, 1b3 opening, Queen's Gambit declined. Phew. I thought this would be easy, yeah? Everyone would say one opening, but it looks like a tough, tough one. Okay. Uh, okay. Somehow, a lot of people are mentioning Sicilian Dragon. Okay, so we may have a look at it at some. I think that looks like the winner in terms of. Shobhit Jaiswal also says Dragon. London System also is mentioned here. See, the crow also wants something, some opening he's mentioning. Um, okay, let's try to look at the dragon. And believe me, it's not that I want and others would be depressed. The main aim is to understand how to prepare an opening. So as I previously mentioned, I would like you to learn how to fish and not really give you a fish. So all those who are dragon players, this is not something where I'm offering you how to play against the dragon or how to play with the dragon, but I'm actually trying to tell you how to prepare. Okay, so let's go and let me open chess base. Now one very important thing that I would like to mention here is that you will have this on your screen when you have chess base 15. And the way in which you take everything together is, first of all, you need to create a folder here. So if you look here carefully, I have created a folder called Sagar Chess. Okay, so everyone can create your own folder, say XYZ chess, XYZ, whatever, ABC chess. And when you go inside, you have different folders. Now, I have only put here the openings folder to show you how it works. So when I go openings, I have my repertoire, and inside my repertoire is from black and from white. Okay. So now let's say I'm trying to prepare the dragon from black. So I go inside black, and you will see that different openings are properly structured. Like for example, let's say I want to play the, say the, say inside Sicilian, I have anti-Sicilian, but let me say I go to Karokan, then I have variations inside it, and let's say I go into advance, then I have more lines inside it, and if I prepare say any of the lines, I click here, then there is a database inside. So this is how you work on your openings. You have folders, and inside the folders you have database. So in that sense, we have Sicilian. I can go and make a folder called Dragon. And when I go here and create Dragon, then I can create a new database here, and I go to here Sagar Chess openings, my repertoire from black, and go inside Sicilian Dragon, and I will say let's work on one line of the dragon today, which is say 9 bishop c4. Okay, 9 bishop c4 in Sicilian Dragon, because, or I can just make a one folder called Sicilian Dragon for now. Okay, one database, and I can choose which database I want, CBH or PGN. I would say if you are working for yourself in the computer and it's a local file, then you can keep it as CBH. You don't need to mail it to anyone. So I create new, and you will see the database is created here. So what I do is I open this, and I open a board, and I will save this board as the theory file. Okay, so what happens is you have the theory file at the top, and at the bottom are some instructive lines. Now, I don't know the dragon deeply, so let me first make certain moves: e4 c5, nf3 d6, d4 cd4, knight d4, knight f6, knight c3, g6, bishop e3, bishop g7, f3. I guess that's the right move order. Castles. By the way, for all the people who have a question, I have a question for you. Why not knight g4 here? Because if I win this bishop, it's really very nice. So why not knight g4? Ragini Ramanathan, I think it's buffering only for you. So try to refresh it. Yes. Okay, now we have found the dragon variation, but the main aim is to understand how to prepare any opening. Okay. Yes, bishop b5 is the correct move, because now the king has no space, so you have to block with something. If you play bd7, what does white play now? Yes, Shanks, you are right, very right. Udaykant Mishra says, have you played with Niklesh sir? Yes, I think I have played at least one time in tournament play. Yeah, I hope you get this move here, which is queen into g4, and you win a piece. Very good. If you play knight d7, you still lose the knight, and if you play knight c6, then after knight into c6, you're going to lose material here. Yeah. So good. All of you are alert. Bishop g7, f3, castles, queen d2, knight c6, and bishop c4. Now, one of the things is that in such a position, let's say when you're preparing against black, now you want to know what is the move that you should play here. So what I do usually is I click on reference. Okay, and what reference does is that it loads all the games that are there in the database. Okay, so now you will see that all the games here, all the moves that are possible in this position for black are loaded. And this is bishop d7, knight d7, knight into d4, a6, all this. But you will see clearly that bd7 is scoring really well, is the most popular. It has been played in 18,000 games. Okay. Right now we are focusing only on bishop c4, but if you are a dragon player, you must see bishop c4. Even long castle is a very popular move here, ninth move. And also, apart from long castle, there is the move g4, which is very popular. So what you do is, if you now click notation, you will see that these are the lines which you must prepare. Okay, this is another main line, and this is also another main line. So you understand that on the ninth move you have to prepare three lines, but bishop c4 is maybe the most critical. And you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to play bd7 because it's the most popular move. Now once again you will see that there are three moves: castles, h4, and bishop b3. Okay, so what I do is, I'm first of all trying to understand the terrain. What are the different possibilities? Bishop b3, and also h4. Yeah, but clearly long castle is the most critical move. Okay, now once I'm beginning to understand what's happening here, I will also try to do one small thing here, which I think Vidit also likes to do, he suggested once, which was, you know, what you can do is you can go to filter and you can say uh, one of the players, or maybe both the players, maybe one is enough, should be 2750 plus. Okay, one of the players should be 2750 plus. This is just to get acclimatized to the opening, and you go and do uh, search. Okay, when you do that, what will happen is you will get around 14 games, but you will also realize who are the top players. So you will see Carlsen has been playing a lot of dragon. Okay, so it gives you an idea. I'm sorry. uh, so I go back to this position and I say, okay, long castle, and now let me look at the games that have been played by Carlsen. So I click on black here. Okay, so there are two ways to prepare. Either you can follow a player, or you follow the results. For example, all the results here, the score, are given from white's point of view, not black. Or any move you make is white. So if 54.4%, this is basically the score of white player. Okay, in this line. If 55.7, this is a score of a white player in this line. If queen a5, 55%, that means white wins 55 times out of 100, which is a good score. But here you will see rook b8 is doing very well for black, 49% only score for white, which means black is scoring 51. And if black is scoring more than 50%, that is a line that you must definitely look at. But you must always take this with a pinch of salt, because sometimes, if even if white is winning the game and loses it later on, it will still be counted as a win for black. So your basic statistics may not be accurate. But here I am tempted enough to actually say, let's prepare rook b8. Okay, so here rook b8 I would like to look at. And I think what happens is h4 scores poorly, g4 scores poorly for white, king b1 is scoring poorly, but bishop b3 is the best move. So let's go bishop b3. By the way, I wanted to look at Carlsen's games, but I have a feeling that somehow the statistics convinced me that rook b8 can be an interesting option. Now what I can do is I can click on black here, so that all the names of the black players are in one row, and I will go and see if there is any good player who's played it many times. Okay, and if I get some player who's played it many times, I'll try to follow it and I'll try to choose a top player. Okay, so Carlsen has played it only once, but okay, it's an interesting game. That we if Carlsen plays something, you should definitely have a look at it, and you will see that it's an annotated game in the Mega database. So I already find this game interesting. So what I'll do is I will copy it and I will put it in my database below here. Okay, so what happens is I have the theory file and now an instructive game. So I'll go here and I will play through the moves. This is all, and rook b8 and bishop b3 was played, and now Carlsen goes knight to a5. Okay, knight a5, and white goes bishop h6. Okay, very interesting move. Carlsen says takes, brings the queen to this side of the board, and now goes b5. So he might have ideas of b4, also knight c4 can take here, possible. White goes for g4, and here you will see an analysis, which is if h4, then e5, knight d2, b4, and this has been tested multiple times in practice, and the assessment is that white has no advantage. Okay, I would like to check this further. It's very concrete, because let's imagine knight d5. I think I will take on b3. A b3, I'm just trying to right now, then take here, and perhaps some move like bishop e6. I do remember something of this sort in this line comes, but we will look at it in more detail later. In the game, g4 was played, and Carlsen took, knight takes b3, b4, knight d5, knight d5, e d5, and rook b6. And Rogozenko here mentions this was played in 2009. It's 11 years old. Most likely this game will change the evaluation of the entire line from better to for white to perfectly acceptable to black. The idea behind rook b6 is to protect the d6 pawn and to play e5 and then recapture on e6 with the f pawn. Okay, so that's the main idea. Now rook h e1. Well, I hope nothing's buffering. Yeah, that's the most important thing. Yeah, rook h e1, e5, de, fe, and this was Carlsen's idea to defend the d6 pawn. Rook e3, rook f7, and okay, here we can just say that the position is interesting and we can stop here for the time being. Now what I do is once I seen this game, I will save it here and I will go into the theory file which I have open, and I will say knight a5, bishop h6, and I will write here uh, bishop into h6, queen into h6, b5, g4, and I will mention g4 as Dominguez versus Carlsen. And when I do this, what happens is that I know that there is a game that I have stored in my database. Now another way of doing this is to right click here, remove the name. Instead of typing, you do Control A and type. Instead of that, you can go right click, you can go to special quotation, and you can go to game quotation. And once you do game quotation, it will give you a game. But right now it showed me, let me remove the delete special notation. How do I delete special notation? By the way, I hope you guys can see everything well. Yeah, I'm always worried. So delete, what is it, game quotation? Yeah, delete quotation. And what I do is I actually open the game of Carlsen here. So the last game that is opened is quoted. So now I go back here and I say special annotation and I go to game quotation, and you will see the game is quoted here, and whenever I click on it, it will open this game. So it's very nice, so that you don't have to kind of keep finding your entire game here and there. You can just quote it. So now I have a game, and what I will do is uh, I will remember it this way. So I don't put the entire game in the theory file. Now after knight a5, bishop h6 is one move. Let me see if there are any other moves that white can do. Bishop h6 is one, h4 is another move, also g4 is another move. But you remember we had to see bishop h6, take on h6, I'm going to take this, queen h6, b5, and now h4. Yeah, so we go and we say new main line h4, and here e5 is a strong move. You will see that if e5 in the moves, it scores 37%. That's really good for black, actually 37%. So I go e5, and then after e5 end e2, and I go b4. That's what all top players have been playing. Knight d5. Now take on b3, because if you took on d5, then he would take it with the bishop. So I first take on b3. He takes, both ways are possible. So we have to look at ab3 and we have to look at cb3. So I just make a note of everything. Yeah. Now knight d5, rook d5, and you see it looks really scary for black. First of all, this pawn is hanging, and second of all, h5 is threatening to open up and then launch a mating attack. But I think here I have uh, bishop e6 move. Yeah, and then after bishop e6, I think that's the main move. There is also a move rook b6, but let's go with what bishop e6 is played. And now if h5 is played, then we can actually, by the way, a big thanks to Harish Kumar for contributing 40 rupees. That's very kind of you, Harish. And here after h5, I think what can you go bishop d5 here? You can go bishop d5. That's the point. Take, and give an intermediate check. He has to go, and now you can take fg6 and it's defended. So in that way, you can say that h5 is a blunder. You can put a question mark to this move. From here, it's possible to put a question mark. And if not h5, then rook d2 is played, and then I again go to reference and check what is black's best move. Rook b6, and if h5, then I think a very good move is g5. And this looks really good for black, because first of all, the queen is kind of trapped here. I have defended my weakness, and maybe I can even go f6 and just box the queen in there. So I would say, just to give a evaluation, I can also go and start an engine here, which is add kibitzer. And I would recommend all of you to get an engine. Stockfish is open source. You can go to stockfishchess.org, download it from there, or you can also get it from say Chessbase India. You can get Komodo, Fritz 17, which has Fat Fritz, Houdini, anything that you like. Now, if you open Stockfish, I just want to see the evaluation so that I can put it there, and it shows winning position for black. So I'm going to put a minus plus sign and then close the engine. I am using minimally the engine right now because I'm still understanding the line, but definitely CB3 is not good, because you remember in CB3 what happened was, at some point white had this check, black had this check. But if, let's say, now we take AB3, then things are much different. So here, after knight into d5, rook into d5, now if I go bishop e6, then I think a good move is h5, when white is getting some play. Okay, but if rook into d5, I can go rook b6, and you will see that this move has scored really well for black. And then h5 can be met with g5, and once again it seems like black is doing okay here. Yeah, but you must not stop just as yet, because 25 games have gone f4 in this position, which is crazy. Because if I take here, then this is already checkmate, so I must be careful. Also, it seems like if I take gf4, then knight f4 is a strong move, with I cannot take because of rook g5. So therefore, bishop g4 comes to mind, attacking the knight on e2, and the variations keep continuing. Knight d4, this is what opening preparation is a lot about, to understand these tactical flows. and to actually prepare yourself. And I think here what I can mention is that have a look at some game. Maybe I can take one game of Zhao versus Zambrana, and I can do Control C, where, and I will put it in my database here. So now I have the second game and I open it. So what happens is I go into this game and analyze it a lot more deeply. So F4, and then I can start an engine, uh, and I say bishop G4, knight D4, GF4, G3, FG3, rook G1 is maybe the mistake of the game, dubious move, and I mentioned the right move, which is knight F5 according to this engine. I'm not sure. Now bishop F5. If he plays EF5, then after king H8, black is winning. So therefore, the right move is rook D3 here, trying to take this pawn on G3, G2. Rook G3 check, BG6. Now you will see that I'm making a queen, so you have to play rook into G2. By the way, this is the nature of dragon. Yeah, this is not me trying to analyze, but dragon is very concrete. Queen E7, HG, FG, rook G6, HG6, check. If he gives a check, my king will start running away from here, and this is a playable position. According to the engine, it's equal, but white can also draw with queen into G6, queen G7, queen E6 check, rook F7, and this is a nice sort of a draw here. Rook G1, king H7 check, here check, here check, and it's a draw. Because if I go check, if I play this move, then I have check, king H8 check, and anyway the checks keep continuing. Okay, so I go equal, and I will say this is how I save it inside it. And rook G1 is a bad move because after queen H4 that was played in the game, but even king H8 is a good move. Now you will see that I am analyzing this line very seriously in my game which I have saved, and this turned out to be a winning position for black. Okay, I will analyze it a little bit deeper, but what I will do next is save this, Control S, and then I will go here to our theory file, and I will say that for AB3, have a look at the game special annotation, game quotation, and Zambrona versus Zhao. So now I have the game here, and I can actually take out the other moves if I want to. And if CB3, I have already this variation. I think black is doing fine. Sometimes you don't need to give an entire game. You can, because if there are many lines, like here you saw that after AB3, knight D5, bishop D5, bishop E6, H5, uh, G5, F4. There were many lines that were being played. Sorry, I think I made a mistake. Not bishop E6, rook B6. Insert H5, G5, F4. There are many lines. So I don't want to put it in my theory file. My theory file should be something where I look at it before my game and I know that uh, yeah, so I will know that this is what I should be playing by just having a look at the theory file. Before a game, if I have half an hour, I will look at this, and if I say, I want to check what happens here, G4, okay, let me click Dominguez Carlsen and I will look at it. Okay, so this way you can actually prepare your opening nicely on one file, and you can put your games like this. So when someone says, okay, I have to prepare the dragon, then you can just go here and let's say if you are a coach, you prepare this and give it to your student. Or if you are a player, then you will have a look at this database before the tournament. Okay, now uh, I hope that this was not too tough for you or not too complex. Please let me know in the comment section if this was something that helped you understand this, or if it was uh, quite advanced, and if there are any questions that what I was trying to say. But uh, important thing and the basic thing you must do is you must get a chessbase 15 and mega database, and then you right click on mega database, go to properties and make it your reference database. Okay, if you do this thing you can use chessbase and this uh, chessbase and mega database to prepare. Okay, everyone says it's buffering, but I think it's fine for now. Okay, let's look at any other opening now. I know that I can spend entire 2 hours to look at dragon, but what I'll do is I will say look at say one more. So many of you said Chamil Prasad, very interesting. Srishti Chede, amazing. Also, Sumed Ramteke said it helped a lot. Rupesh Ram said it helped so much. Very good. Okay, I'm happy that people found it useful. All those who say you don't have this chessbase 15 and mega database, I feel that it's like saying you want to become a serious chess player, okay, but you don't have a tool. So if you want to become strong player, then you need these tools. You can see how I'm preparing the openings, I'm saving them properly. Now let's take one more example. um, I don't know. Let's look at Scotch. Okay, let's look at Scotch because so many people said Scotch, Scotch, Scotch. So let me do Scotch. And now I will go to my repertoire from white. I will see one e4 from white, and I'll see if I already have. Yeah, I have Scotch here. So let me open it here. No, I don't want to replace it, but I will go and check because maybe I worked on something from Scotch from white. um, so let me just have a look at it, what it is. Maybe it's not very deep, but still, let's see. Scotch. Ah, nice. Okay, so here you see how I've created the theory file, and then I have put stuff below it. Yeah, the game. So for example, e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, d4. Let's flip the board because we are looking at it from white. Bishop c5 is the theory here that I have put. Bishop c4, knight e5, bishop e2, queen g6. Now here, instead of queen g6, if he plays d5, what happens? I've put in the analysis. If queen g6, and now you will see that in this position f4, and I have mentioned Carlsen-Lecco. So if I go to Carlsen-Lecco, is it here? I have not put it here. Ideally I should put it here. So maybe I can just search Carlsen-Lecco with reference. Here's the first game, and then I can copy it. Nice thing about chessbase and mega database is that you get annotated games. So you can actually have those games here in which Carlsen has analyzed this. So you get to learn from the world champion himself. Okay, so now let's look at, maybe I'm running low on system resources, it says. uh okay, so there is also another move which I have prepared, which is knight f6 against knight f6, e4, e5. Here takes, knight f6, take, e5, queen e7. By the way, I think all of you now know that the move which is becoming very popular is h4. Okay, and if I click here on reference, you will see that h4 is, and there is one thing here which shows hot. What is the meaning of hot? Hot means it's being played a lot recently, and you will see h4 has the biggest hot mark, okay, while others. So let me say h4. By the way, a big thanks to Jaideep Chakrabarti, who has contributed 800 rupees. Thank you so much, Jaideep. He says, thank you, Sagar. One question on opening. I know I can enter by games where moves played by GMs, but when I play against club players, they play something really off and not in theory. How to understand ideas behind it? That's a very good question. Actually, what I do is I will right now I'm trying to show a little bit fast, yeah. But if suppose I take our example of the dragon, which we were looking at here, and we see that e5 nd to b4, take, and I reach this position, knight d5, rook d5. Now after I will think for myself with black, and I will say, okay, if I go rook b6, now the main move which all grandmasters have played is h5, which is logical. But what if my opponent plays rook d1? It attacks d6 pawn. Can I do something? Okay, I will push him back. But then he goes rook d2. Now what's my plan next? So what I'm doing is, I'm not just blindly following only the main moves. I'm also questioning myself. Okay, not rook d1. Here, here I play queen c7, and I think I next move I will go here, and I have a great position. Okay. Uh, so okay, should I do something about the crow? Let me do that. Okay, I think the lag has gone. Okay, he's gone, yeah. Hopefully he won't come back. Maybe he wanted to learn the dragon, as you all said. Okay, so what I do is I try to question myself. What are the possibilities? For example, I'm very much afraid that after h5, g5, what if he jumps with his knight to f5? What's happening? So then I'll think to myself, okay, can I go bishop e6, or should I go f6 first? Now if he jumps here, I will take queen c7, and we come back to the thing which I have taught you, which is about imbalances. You try to understand the imbalances here. What's happening? What is going on? You will see the queen is out of play. Here's an open file. Here's a weak pawn. Here is, you know, a backward pawn. Here's a rook on the front of, so you will then, with what you have learned as the imbalances, can analyze it better. That's why I taught you imbalances first, so that you can always have a constant supply of good ideas coming up, yeah. Now, so we go back, and let's look at one more line. Okay, I think scotch is something which we were looking at, so just having a very quick one here. Now many people don't really understand the ideas behind a move. I need to find my board. Where is it? Because I've opened so many. Yeah, here. Now h4. Now someone plays h4. You start to think, what is the point behind the move? And I would say that everyone used to play c4 here, and everyone would play bishop a6, then b3, and it's a very complex line. But suddenly, one fine day, okay, you say the year, one fine day. Okay, first h4, sorry, here, and I do here, and I would say Van der Wiel played h4 in 87, and then everyone began to think, what is the logic behind the move? Can anyone tell me what is the logic behind the move h4? Why is this move played? Why is the move h4 played in this position? I think if it was lagging, it should be fine now. Maybe for me it's showing okay. Yeah, bishop g5 is one idea. Very good, Pradeep Das. Anything else that comes to mind? Preventing g5, yeah. To gain space, Aviral Bhatt, yes. Black king will be in danger on the king side, true. So what basically h4 is just an improving move, yeah, like you are improving your position, and we can then try to think a little bit in terms of, say, the most natural move for black in this position after h4. What do you think is the most natural move? So then I say, okay, maybe d6 is the most natural move because d6 is breaking my center. So I play c4, then he goes knight b6, and then I think to myself, okay, ed, take here, cd6, and bishop e3. So what did we gain by playing actually h4? Well, I feel that usually black doesn't play d6 in such positions, so by h4 we kind of forced him to make a decision. But still, the idea of h4 is not very clear to me. So I won't stop, yeah, I won't really give up until I understand the idea of this move. So let's say if he plays another move in this position, like instead of h4, what is, there is a move called nd2, okay, in this position for white, and black goes g6. That is the main move for black. So I will say to h4, what happens if he goes g6? You know, I'm asking this question. Now it turns out that if he goes g6, perhaps this is just the perfect thing I need for h4. You know, h5 can come, bishop g5 can be played at the right moment. So I go c4, knight b6, for example, and now bishop g5, and it seems to me that somehow this has worked out wonderfully well for white. This entire thing with I don't know, I can even check the assessment. So what I do is I use chessbase mega database and an engine to analyze everything properly, and maybe instead of nc3, yeah, nc3 is fine. If knight a4, I can play now one idea of the move h4, rook h3, defending the knight on c3. So you see, uh, opening preparation as such is a lot about inquisitiveness. Okay, it is a lot less about trying to say, hey, what's going on? Like here, my first question to my mind is, what happens if he takes here? I take, and play rook b1, and the knight is kind of trapped. But then rook b8 and bishop f6, rook g8, knight e4. You see what happens is that this pin here is very, very irritating, and it helps me, you know, the more deeper I see things, the more I learn. For example, here the best move is kind of unbelievable, which is rook to c3. You can't take because b8 and then c8 is hanging, and if you try to save this knight somehow, I don't know, maybe through this way, then I go a3 and I win your bishop. So my suggestion to all of you is not that uh, do it the way, you know, do it the way I'm doing, but have inquisitiveness. What happens if this is taken? Now rook b1, pinning the knight, or a3, pushing the knight queen in a way that it has to keep an eye on this, has to go back, and now maybe knight e4. But okay, in general, even rook b1 should be completely better for me, because after rook b8, bishop c1, I will win this knight. Okay. Now let's close this and let's look at one game that was sent to me. And also, this is generally what I'm trying to show you is how to prepare openings also here. So for example, I think the game that was sent was this one, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, Cobra Bite. Okay, so what Cobra Bite said is that he played e4 d5. I don't know who's Cobra Bite, but e4 d5, knight f3. Okay, now if you remember, if you see and look at it this way, which is d4, knight f6, c4, e5. This is an opening. Do you know what's the name of this opening? And anyone here who plays it with black? Is there anyone who plays this with black? Shrishti Chede says today very less contribution. Well, what I realize is sometimes when there are very tough subjects, people are so engrossed in trying to learn it that there's less. Yes, everyone is right here. Budapest, Ekta Chaurasia, Ayan Sabarwal, Suyansh Verma, Arun Dikshit. That's it's called the Budapest Gambit, correct? And if I take knight g4, bishop f4, this is a normal way to play the Budapest. So what white does is that after e4 d5, he plays knight f3, and he says I'm going to play Budapest with white. Okay, so this was the game that Cobra Bite sent me. And when you are say preparing this with black now, for example, if you are an e4 d5 player and someone plays this, you start to think what should black do here. So you think to yourself, okay, if I go knight f6, he will attack my f7 pawn like this, so I must go e6, and then after knight c3, I don't really have a good way to defend this pawn, because say go queen d4, then he goes queen e2, and next move he will pick up this pawn and have a fine position. So that leads you to an idea that actually the move knight f6, he's going bishop c4, and I am actually blocking my bishop here. So instead, what would be a good move here for black? Can anyone tell me what should black play? What should black play? And a way to also do this is do it through logical thinking. The first thing is logic. Second, I would say, is go to reference and try to find out what's the best move here. And then the last one is to do control K, which loads the engine list, and then load an engine and try to um, read through it, like what's the best move here, try to understand it. Yes, bishop f5, as rightly pointed out by many people. By the way, queen d5 was played in the game but wasn't a good move. We'll come to it, why this is not a good move. But yes, bishop f5 is the correct move. And now you will see that after knight c3, knight f6, bishop c4, e6, queen e2. Now a good move here is knight c3, the knight c6. The main difference, although it's a reversed one, it's very interesting. I mean, I was looking at it, is that when you play the Budapest, knight c6, knight f3, the main move here is check. And this check comes because white had an extra move and he played c4. All of you who said bishop f5, well done, good job. But the point is that if I play this with black here after bishop f5, knight c3, there is no check here. because my pawn is not on c5, it is on c7. So I go c6. But this I would get to know if I use the reference feature, and I will go here and see, hey, look, nf6 52%, bishop f5 35%, e5 37%. So you will realize that bishop f5 and e5 are clearly the two best moves in this position, and you will prepare that. And now you know how to prepare something. I hope you understood the right way to prepare an opening is to first have your own database. Okay, have your own database called Sagar Chess, or if suppose here Shubham is there, then Shubham Chess, or Shri Devi is there, then Shri Devi Chess. Whatever your name, have that. Inside it, create an openings folder, because I'll put end games in this, middle game in this, many other things. Then inside openings, you say, you can put my repertoire, or you can directly say from white, from black. This is important. And then from black, what we looked here was Sicilian. Inside Sicilian, you have various Sicilians. Let's say I do dragon, what we did right now. When I open it, you have the theory file at the top. So whenever I want to see this, I can just open it quickly, go through the lines before a game. Okay, here I must go rook b8, and then I can type here, this move scores 49% for white, and that is the reason why I feel that black should be playing this. And you can write your analysis, your commentary, whatever you want, and then you can store it, and you can then put illustrative games inside this database. It is something like, today I'm watching a game and I say, wow, what an idea in the dragon. I pick it up and I put it in this database. This database keeps growing, and then I link it at the right place by right clicking, saying special annotation, game quotation, and it gets quoted there. So your theory file remains very concise, and below it you start growing your number of illustrative games. I hope that you understand this very deeply. By the way, for all those who found this a little boring and little tough, I can tell you that this is really the way in which top players work on their openings. And well, chess improvement is not all about fun, it's not all about toughness, I mean easy stuff. It also has tough things. Okay, so now time for story. And I must tell you this story because I loved it very much, and we published it on chessbase.in. So if you go to our website, you will see that it's, I think, the fifth article, and it's called The Grandmaster Who Sold His Mercedes. Okay, a very interesting game. Now, interesting article. So there's this person known as GM Avetic Grigorian. Okay, he's a GM from Armenia, and he he said that at the age of 19, okay, he wants to share with you the must learn skill to skyrocket your growth in chess. And at the age of 19, he became a grandmaster. Okay, so he became a grandmaster, and he had quite some money. Okay, so now he had a lot of money with himself. So what should he do? That was the question. So when you go here, you realize that he bought a car for himself. It was a Mercedes car. And then he went to Ukraine somewhere for a tournament, I think, and he met a few people there. And one of them was a banker, and he asked them, if you have a lot of money, what would you invest it in? So I have a question to you today. If you have a lot of money, what would you invest it in? What is the thing that you would invest that money in? Can anyone tell me? what would you put it in? You different things. Yeah, man who sold Ferrari. That it's actually the monk who sold his Ferrari, and the title is based on that, the Grandmaster who sold his Mercedes. Tom Lasker says he would buy gold. Okay, interesting. Swayam Ubale said he has read it. Arvind Dikshit says save it for college. Okay. Bhargav says business. Gautam Bala says chess base. Okay. You would buy chess base. Um, Books, chess, bank, myself. Very good. Play more tournaments, future tournaments, chess. So, a lot of you have said bank, chess, myself, tournaments. And so for Avitic at that point, he thought the right thing is, if he loves cars, is to buy car. But later on, that person said that the biggest thing that you can invest in, if you want to invest in something with minimum risk and a guaranteed big return, invest in yourself. Okay. So if you have a dream in your life, like you want to become a good chess player, then back it up by investing in that dream. Okay. Don't take it like, I have a dream which is somewhere, but I'm investing in something else. For example, you have a dream to become a good chess player, but you are investing in, let's say, buying a car or buying a house. And Warren Buffett, who's one of the top investors in the world, says invest in as much of yourself as you can. You are your biggest asset by far. So don't be afraid. If you have some money, invest it on yourself. Learn chess, take some coaching, buy some softwares, buy some books, invest in yourself. You will see that you will win more events and your money will double. You will earn more than invest. I am not just trying to preach here, but actually, this is what happened. Amruta and I had this dream of promoting chess in India. We still have it. And In 2017, we said, sitting at home, it seems like it's not the best way to promote chess. Yes, we are writing reports, we are doing interviews, we are doing a lot of things. Why don't we get on the road and we actually try to see what's the ground situation like in the world of chess? And she was like, what should we do? I said, let's put everything in the warehouse, let's give up our house and let's go on the road with a couple of bags. And this is what we did, actually, starting from November 30th, 2017. For 1 year, we were completely on the road. We traveled to different countries, different cities, mainly India. We went to 5 different countries as well, because the Olympiad also came in that period. But we went to 45 different cities, and we many people asked us, so where do you earn from? And the thing is, it was an investment into our dream. We wanted to promote chess, and we invested in it. We invested time, energy, effort, money, everything. And today you can see that actually I understand Indian chess much better. I can do much better things for it, just because we took this decision together. So I feel that all of you here who have a dream, and for example who have some money as well, and want to become better at chess, invest it in yourself. And so if you saw this lecture and you felt like, oh, the chessbase 15 and mega database was useful, but I don't have enough money, well, if it is just enough for you, still go for it, invest in it, use it well, and then go and play a tournament later, and you will recover that money. So go to chessbase.in online shop, and if you go here, you will find that chessbase 15. If you type chessbase 15 here, you will see chessbase 15 plus mega database combo, and you can buy that. Okay, and this is useful, and this is the very reason why we started Chessbase India, was to make sure that these softwares are available wherever I went. I saw every grandmaster using Chessbase. They were using all these features, and in India, somehow no one was using, I mean everyone was using a pirated copy, not working well, was crashing. And that's the reason why we said we need to get these softwares here at an affordable price. So every software which cost 100 euros was now it costs just 3715, so it's almost 60% cheaper than usual. Okay, now yeah, by the way, if you buy it, it's downloadable, so you get a serial key and setup file, so even in the lockdown you can start using it. Okay, now Deepak Dhami says, I have money problem, how can I improve chess? Now this is very easy to say, and I see this being spoken by everyone. I have money problem, I can't do this. I have money problem, I can't do that. But are you making decisions whereby you are actually saving money for what you want to do? Try to do that. Okay, if it's really your dream, you will save it. That is important. Keshav the winner, well, I said your name. um how many GB is Mega 2020? Well, the download file is around 1.5 GB. Okay, anyone else who has any questions? Today we were not able to look at imbalances, but I think I looked at very important thing. So the imbalances thing, we'll work on it tomorrow, on the weak squares, open files and all of that. But today we saw the openings, and I hope that they were useful for you. How to download chessbase 15? Well, uh, practical thinking, you just go to chessbase.in website. Okay, chessbase.in, and you go to online shop, and from here you can go in softwares, or you can type here chessbase 15 and you can buy it. You can place an order and buy it. My play chess games are not auto saved. Does this require a premium account? Yes, Sumit, you should have a premium account so that your cloud space is 300 MB and your games will be saved. Aditi says, I was a really good chess player, but later I left chess and now I want to improve comeback. So, what should I do? Well, the first step is to start playing and then analyze your games, try to understand where you are going wrong, improve in that direction. Okay, and a good idea is to have a good coach. Try to find a good trainer who can help you, who has time and effort and energy to help you. Arun Dikshit says, what is your number one mantra for success in chess? Well, I don't know what is the number one mantra, but I think just working hard and trying to be smart, working in the right direction is very important. I see many people working hard day and night, but in wrong direction. I see many people not working hard, but knowing what to do. So you need a balance. Where you should put efforts and how you should put it is very important. Okay, I'm going to call it a day today. It has been quite an intense class, although it has been just less than usual, 1.5 hours. But if anyone would like to contribute to the stream, please do so via the super chat. We have already raised 69,990 rupees here. And yes, I must inform you that we have an online tournament that is going to take place. I'll be publishing an article today, but it is here, which is Let's Fight Corona on 9th of April. And the amazing thing is that we have already participation of Vidit, Nilotpal Das, Barua, Srinath, Magesh Chandran, Arun Prasad, Ankit Rajpara, Tanya Sachdev, Lakshman, Nisha Mohota, Stani, Deep Sen Gupta, Aditya Mittal, Setu Raman, Aryan Chopra, Gukesh, Vishnu Prasanna, Kojima Shinya of Japan, Japan, strong player Kidambi, Padmini Raut, Divya Deshmukh, and you can also play in this event by just contributing 100 rupees, which will be going to the Prime Minister's Care Fund. And we have already raised 1,24,000 rupees from here. So you can see 70,000 here, 1,24,000. So that's almost 2 lakh rupees. And thank you all for doing this. So you can do that, and if you want to pay through the pay you money link, it's there right in the description below, so you can get that. Suraj Borse says, with Chessbase 15 and Mega Database, is Chessbase account free? Yes, you get 3 months of Chessbase account with Chessbase 15. So there's also an option for you to go to the online shop here and go for CB15 Mega Pack, where you get Mega Database, Chessbase 15, CB account, and CB So CB account is 1 year, but you also have 3 months in Chessbase 15. So in this pack, you will have 15 months, while if you just buy Chessbase 15, it will be 3 months of Chessbase 15. Okay. Well, there is no homework for today. I would like you to take some rest, and we'll come back tomorrow and start working on the imbalances again. And we should be able to complete imbalances in the next 3 days. And after that, I want to work on the last 2 days to give you random positions and to improve your thought process. Okay. What chess base 15 do you, Dhanushka says, what chess base 15 do you use from these products at the online shop? Well, for me, I use this chess base 15 plus Mega Database, but all everywhere where there is chess base 15, it's the same chess base 15. So you don't need to worry. Even if you buy Fritz 17 and chess base 15, it will be the same. What are the main differences between chess base 14 and 15, says Aditya Ramanathan? Well, first of all, Aditya, the one thing which I see and has been mentioned is that the reference is much faster. It searches games very quickly, it doesn't take that much time. Secondly, is this replay training, where you can load any game. For example, let's say you want to look at this game from black side. So you load this position and then you say replay training, and it makes the move. And if suppose you make the right move, like say b4, then you get plus points, and if you don't make the right move, you get minus points. So here is a very good form of training. Take and you get points. This replay training is very good to see strong players games. This is one feature that is very good. Also, there is this bar where in a second you get to see what happened in the game. So I can say that somewhere around here, black began to go wrong. If anything goes beyond below the line, it's known as the game status bar or evaluation bar. And in a jiffy, you can understand what happened in the game. So this is a new feature. uh, there is also the Plan Explorer. Right now, it seems like there is definitely some issue. I've already written to the chess-based tech team. They are working on it. So a new version will be soon released. If you go always to the chess-based main screen, you will see that uh, in the file activation update program, there is always a new update which comes after a few days. So right now it's 18, the 19th one will come soon, and I think they will fix it. In that, it was working before, but maybe with a new update something always goes wrong. Komichiwara Kamatra says, we appreciate you from Nepal. Thank you so much, Komichi. Pradeep Kanetkar, how to prepare using Chessbase account. Amaya, there is a video on, many videos on that. For example, if I just take you to our YouTube channel, and if you just type Chessbase account premium, you will see that here all these videos become an analytical and opening expert with chessbase account is here. Chessbase premium account. Have a look at these videos, and I'm sure you will get a lot of new ideas. Okay. So, guys, I would like to say thank you to everyone for today. And I know it had been a tough class, but well, that's how it is. I don't want to just keep teaching you what is fun. It's also important for you to improve. Tomorrow, I'll see you again at 9 a.m. Until then, goodbye. Take care.